Hey, what's up Internet? Kaz here, and I'm doing a quick tutorial on port forward. It seems like a lot of you out there need some help with, a lot of you run into problems with it, so I'm doing the quickest thing I can to get through it. Alright, so you need three things to do a port forward. You need to know your internal IP address, your external IP address, and then your router login information. The way it works is kind of think of your home network as like an apartment building. It has an external IP address or your main address, and that's what the rest of the world uses to connect to you or to send mail to you. And then you need to set up forwarding so when stuff comes to Tom, it goes to the correct location in your apartment. So stuff that comes in on a certain port, like a Minecraft server 25565, it's going to forward on to the correct computer in your network, which would be whatever your internal IP address. Alright, so pretty easy. Go to your server, and then you're just going to hit the start, go down to start button, and then you're going to type in run. And then you pull up this one, and then you just type in CMD, or short for command, hit enter, and then type in Ipconfig. Now this is going to give you the information you need. It's going to give you the internal IP address of your server, and then your default gateway. This is pretty much common about anybody. The default gateway usually is 192.168.1.1, and then the 192.168 is pretty much the standard for internal IP. But it doesn't matter because it doesn't need to be different than anybody else. The thing that does need to be different is your external IP. So what you want to do is go to google.com and then just type in what is my IP, and then it'll tell you what your IP is. And then that's what you give to people to connect. That's what you update your A record if you have a domain to point to. Voila, and then people can connect. So we have the internal IP and your external IP, and when we know your router location. So basically, once you get your external IP, come in here, and then you're going to type in your router IP address, and then you're going to log in. Now the default login is different for each router, so go to Google and search for what is my default password for whatever router that you have. And then also the instructions with this, you can go to portforward.com. I found that is a great website. It just gives you step-by-step instructions based upon whatever router that you're using. Mine is a Netgear. Once you're in there, you're going to look for port forwarding, and then you're going to put in the port. If you're forwarding a Minecraft server, it's 25565. If you're forwarding Vodafire for a Minecraft server, it's 8193, I believe, is the default. And then you just put in that to your IP address. So we tell stuff that's coming in is going to the correct IP address, and then you give that external IP address to your friends, and then they can connect. If you ever run into problems like it just suddenly stops working, check to see if your external IP address has changed. ISPs can change it at will. They don't have to keep it unless you pay them extra to have a dedicated IP address. And then, or check your internal IP, see if that changed. At the end of updating your port forwarding on your router, you may have to restart it, so just pull the power it back on, and you should be good to go. There you go. Have fun. Enjoy the game.